My name's Olivia. I am from the Midwest originally. I've hopped around to quite a few states in the Midwest, Indiana, Iowa, Minnesota, before moving to Florida. I started scuba diving in college. That is where I got initially scuba certified, and then there was a dive shop in town that I worked at while I was in school. Worked up to my dive master through college, got a job at an aquarium management company right out of college, where then I moved to Minnesota, and then I became a scuba instructor up there. They wanted me to be the dive safety officer for the company. I got my instructor certification, and then I just, for the fun of it, kept moving up to staff instructor. And then by that point, pretty much my entire life revolved around scuba diving, so I wanted to be closer to the ocean and other types of diving. A lot of my day is spent at my desk here at home, where I manage our dive safety program for all the divers that we have across the country. The Bass Pro here locally, we have alligators and hogs and a fish tank. So I'll go in and help with gator feeds. Sometimes I help with hog feeds, and I also do the dive in the aquarium as well sometimes. I think being in the Midwest and being landlocked, there's kind of like this intrigue of like ocean, water kind of thing that I wasn't used to having. It's like that like grass is greener kind of a thing. I also like started getting really interested into fish in high school. I like was obsessed with aquariums. It kind of started with aquariums, honestly. Like I just like the ambiance of it all. And then obviously scuba diving is like getting to swim in a giant, best aquarium ever. That was like my draw into it, and it just being something very different from where I grew up, which I wasn't a huge fan of, quite frankly. The fact that like every time you go out on a dive, it's like kind of an entirely different experience. Like I could dive the same dive site 50 times, but every time you go out you see different things, and you just have a different experience overall. So it doesn't really matter if it's like the same dive site over and over again. Every single time it's like always a new experience, and you're always finding something new, experiencing something new. When I was in Cozumel, we were swimming along and there was a turtle coming towards us, and we always just mind our business, let it go where it wants. I'm not usually the one that's like the chase after it with the camera type. Like where it chooses, let it be. And it chose to come physically all the way underneath me. And I kind of thought it was just gonna swim through and keep going, but it literally just tucked down and like hunkered down underneath me and was like eating at the coral underneath me. So I was just hovering right over top of this turtle as did not care about my presence whatsoever. And it was really cool. It was like first ocean experience, this turtle that just like was so unbothered by me and like cuddled up to me almost, not really, but kind of. And it was really cool. I really like tech fins. I am a big frog kicker. I love frog kicking. I don't really like flutter kicking very much. I do really like the RK3s or any sort of tech fin, because they work really well for frog kicking. I said RK3s, but also Mari's Avante Quattros are like one of my favorite like all around scuba fins. I also have like a Sherwood cruise mask. I started getting into the social media stuff for scuba during the pandemic, your classic pandemic come up story. That's how I got into it. I was just kind of stuck inside. So I would like green screen the background, get in my wetsuit and like suit up in my apartment and just make stupid little videos at home. It kept me like involved in the scuba diving without actually having to physically go scuba diving because we were all stuck inside. So that's kind of what got me into doing social media. The comedy was like, okay, I can do this, and it worked. It did well, so I kept on doing that, and I've gotten to do a lot of really cool things, meet a lot of amazing people because of it. I have done a lot of jokes revolving around like instructor type of educational stuff. That usually is like a really good spot to hit because it's funny, but it also is informative. So people are both entertained and educated at the same time, so they can share it, but they also learn from it. So whenever you can kind of like pair a couple of objectives into a post, it usually does the best. My advice to somebody who is first getting into scuba diving is to be very patient with yourself. It's a lot of new to kind of take in. You're in a new environment, new equipment, you know, there's a lot going on. So give yourself time to just like adjust to that differences. Your body, how it reacts underwater is gonna take time to get used to. So be patient with yourself. Don't get stressed out that if you don't pick it up right away. That's completely fine and totally normal. So I, for a few years now, had this like pipe dream idea. I wouldn't be the first one. There's another lady, I think her name's Jennifer Idle, who dove all 50 states and she wrote a book about it. But I want to have there be like a vlog video series of diving all 50 states to highlight, because I came from the Midwest and I got certified in a state that most people don't even think scuba diving exists in. So I know from personal experience that there's scuba diving communities in any place. So I think it would be really cool to do like a 50-state journey where you highlight dive communities and dive sites in like all 50 states. So that's been like this like dream that I have for quite a few years now, probably like 5 years now. That's like a little pipe dream I have.